Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel and to another video. If you're new here, my name is Devin Niemela. I love to work on cars, make cars go fast, and look absolutely amazing. So what we're working on today is putting this FRS back together. About a week ago, I was in Southern California, 1,1400 miles away from home. The clutch throw bearing went out, it completely shot. So here is the deal with today's video. When I pull this throw bearing off the transmission shaft is all scarred up from when that throw bearing got completely destroyed. But the way I'm gonna fix this is a new throw bearing and also a machine sleeve that is gonna go on that transmission shaft. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. So you see how that tranny shaft is all scarred up right here? Let me grab some light. Hopefully you guys can see that pretty good on there. Yeah, it's all pretty beat up. My dad is actually a machinist, so he machined up a bunch of these collars for me, and we have a new throw-out bearing here, a collar, and 2 of the set screws to hold this collar on that transmission shaft. You're gonna be using the OEM little clips that hold this bearing on to the clutch fork. This is literally all you need. And guys, I'm gonna have a few of these on my website, so be on the lookout for that. I'll have it linked down in the description box below. What you're gonna get is the new throw-out bearing, the sleeve that will go on the transmission shaft, and 2 of these set screws. You will need some red Loctite as well. We're gonna be Loctiting this onto that tranny shaft because you don't want that thing to move whatsoever. Those set screws will definitely hold it in place, but this is just a little extra insurance to make sure it's not going to move around at all. So that is the good way to fix your issue. It happens all the time, guys. If that throw bearing comes apart like mine did, it's going to destroy that tranny shaft and you don't want to replace the transmission. Pick up one of these kits and you'll be well on your way. And because we're going to be using Loctite on there, we're going to want to clean it up a little bit. So grab some brake cleaner. It'll really just get all the dirt and gunk off of there and make sure that Loctite gets literally locked on there. Let's get to work. You're going to want to clean that tranny shaft up pretty good, like I mentioned earlier, where that sleeve is going to sit. I wish you guys could feel how beat up this shaft is. Much cheaper just to buy this kit that I will throw on the website for you guys. Try to help you out. There's only 10 kits of these available, so jump on them. So grab your Loctite. This Loctite can be found anywhere at any hardware store. Grab your little shaft. Slide it up on there like that. Now you can grab a set screw, throw it on one side, grab your other one, get it on the other side, and then we can move on with our life. It's like it never happened. You don't need to crank these things down too tight. Look at that, guys. Can't get much better than that. Now we don't have to worry about replacing the transmission at all. We should be good to go for the rest of the life of this car. So the throw bearing is gonna sit on that clutch fork just like that using the OEM retaining springs. We're gonna slide this up onto that transmission shaft and get the transmission back up into the car. So pumped to have this kit all finished up. Don't have to worry about that making noise or racket or anything anymore. I would recommend throwing a bit of grease on that shaft right there. You don't need too much of it, honestly. Just enough to make everything slide like it should. Nice and smooth. All right, guys, we should be good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and get this clutch cleaned up a little bit. There's not much you can do on the disc itself, but the pressure plate I'm gonna clean up and also clean up the flywheel on the car. Sponsor your boy. I'm gonna crawl up under the car, clean up that flywheel with some brake cleaner as well and a rag, just kind of wipe it down. That should do the trick. Whenever you're putting a clutch back on the car, you need a clutch alignment tool. If you buy a brand new clutch, this will come with it. I have a bunch of these laying around, so I'm gonna find one that works. It just has to sit inside this clutch disc right here. There we go. So when you're putting this up in there, be careful not to touch any of the surface area with your hands because there's grease on your hands. Basically, grab this clutch alignment tool, push it through the plate, and the other side will go sit into the pilot bearing like that, like that. Grab your pressure plate, being careful not to touch that surface at all. Feed it up in there, and there's all these little alignment dowels right here. You're gonna want to line those up.
So it'll sit on there just like that. You can grab all of your clutch bolts. There should be like 6 or 7, I think. Thread them all up in there. Hand tight for now. After we get them up in there, then we can get them torqued down to the proper spec.
Which is 11.6 foot-pounds. That is 139 inch-pounds. Inch-pounds, guys, not foot-pounds. And when you're tightening these,
you need to torque them down like you are tightening a wheel. So they go in a crisscross pattern. So tighten this side over here. That's done. Go to the opposite bolt and tighten that one. You need to have even pressure on this whole pressure plate. Done. Here on out, it's just a reverse of what we did the other day when we pulled the tranny out of the car. We already have this clutch alignment tool set up in there, so everything should go pretty smoothly from here on out. Let's get this starter slid out of the way. I am gonna jack the front of this motor up to get it tilted back, and then we should get that tranny slid up in there and be on our way. See if I can get this thing up in here by myself. All right, we got the tranny seated all the way to the motor. That's definitely the most important thing. As soon as you get that done, you can lift it up a little bit or jack it up, preferably. It's a little easier to jack it up. And then from there, it's just easy money. Throwing the car back together. Drive line, starter, rest of the bell housing bolts, and the interior.
One thing I always like to do before I put the car completely together, simply make sure the clutch works and feels like it should. That feels absolutely amazing. Oh, that's so smooth. Very nice, very nice. All right, let's get the rest of this thing together. All we have left is that exhaust system and the skid plate. And since a little bit of the oil came out, I am gonna double check that tranny fluid or the tranny gear oil before we go ahead and drive the car. Everything is going really smoothly low. Banging this thing out as fast as I can. I want to get it done before it gets dark outside. Car is 100% done. Let's go on a little drive and see what happens. Oh man, that's so nice to have a perfect clutch again. It's so smooth. My pedal has never been that smooth before, and I think the reason why is because where that throwout bearing rides on the that transmission shaft, how it's all scarred up. I'm guessing that was kind of catching up the bearing, but holy f, it is so nice feeling right now. So hyped on this thing. Well guys, that was a very successful drive. Car is good to go, 100% perfect again. Clutch is working absolutely amazing. Very smooth. I'm very pumped on how it turned out. And I'm also very excited on how easy this thing was to work on. This transmission was so simple to work on, especially compared to those damn Evos, you know. Those things are a whole different world. Like I said earlier, these little clutch bearing kits will be up on my website pretty soon. I'm guessing within a week or so I have to get a few more little things together for them, and then I'll have a few of those kits available for you guys to purchase on my website at boston.com. I'll update you guys on probably my community tab and on my Instagram story as well when they are available, so keep an eye out on both of those pages for them. I'm sorry if my talking sounded weird. It's getting cold outside. My mouth is getting frozen. So I am gonna wrap up the video right here. Really hope you guys enjoyed it. That is pretty much it for FRS content, probably for a while now. As soon as I get back from Hawaii, I'll be jumping into working on the Evo 8. Hope you guys are as pumped as I am for that build. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, hit that thumbs up button down below. I will see you in the next video.